आजको समयमा जहाँ मार्केट एकदमै छिटो चेन्ज भइरहेको छ एउटा मात्रै आइडियाले पनि ठुलो शिफ्ट लिएर आउन सक्छ सो स्पेशली एट दिस पर्टिकुलर point of time it is very important to understand not just the how but also the what and why behind success. If you are an entrepreneur or a seasoned professional or just somebody who's curious to know the reason behind what fuels opportunity and growth, this episode is for you. You're watching It's My Show with Oshin Sitaula. आज It's My Show मा हामीसँग नेपाली बिजनेसका दुई महारथीहरू हुनुहुन्छ. These two individuals have not just created or handled empires but have inspired generations. One of them is not just the driving force behind Jyoti Group and now Padma Jyoti Group. He's also a passionate biker and I'd like to call him the connoisseur of cool. And joining him is somebody who is synonymous to resilience and strategic brilliance. Somebody who has made Mahindra a household name in Nepal through Agni Group. Please help me welcome on the show Saurabh Jyoti and Cabinet Shrestha. Hello, welcome back. Namaste. Nice to see you back. Please have a seat. देख्न साथ यो व्यक्तिले मेरो इन्भेस्टमेन्ट पाउँछ. How do you decide?
Number one would be the person. हेर्दै थाहा हुन्छ.
Out of 10 projects that you invest in, लगभग chances of failure is 80%. Thumb rule. So products or service त्यो uniqueness मा लग्यो भने चाहिँ unicorn हुने सम्भावना छ along with the tech industry.
My personal thing is none of my मेरो passion project चाहिँ कुनै पनि has not made money हैन.
उसँग एकदमै थोरै पैसा छ. त्यो व्यक्तिले रेस्टुरेन्टमा पैसा हाल्दाखेरि कस्तो होला त?
I've done 2 restaurants prior. One shut down.
I took my wife in a pillion and she scolded me. You know, we countless times we fell off the bike. So much so that she knew when we were going to fall off the bike, she used to jump off.
No, I've done like, I went to Ibiza way back. I've done the Love Parade. Maile attend gardakeri, there was 1.7 million people. And, there were 54 trucks. We were on top of one of the trucks.
If these people were a Baskin Robbins flavor, what would they be? Pushpa Kamal Dahal.
Okay.
Your socks is giving.
Your answer was not giving.
Your answer is not giving.
Mutu bitra rakhne. So the best pitch that recently is a dairy project that really appealed to me.
Thank you for joining me today, gentlemen.
It's always a pleasure to be with you and on the show, Oshin.
How are you, Kabidai?
We're feeling great, you know, like it's so exciting to be here.
Saurabh, how are you feeling today?
I'm great. I'm just a little sad that you didn't call me earlier on the show. I'm just kidding.
Saurabh's socks, your watch, your shoes, really cool.
Yeah, generally I don't like to wear formals, but since I'm on your show, I had to put on a coat. Otherwise, I'm more of a casual person.
Thank you for looking nice for me. Today, I want to talk about a lot of different things. धेरै कुराहरु धेरै angle बाट राख्न चाहन्छु. And we'll get back to talking about pitch decks and startups अनि तपाईहरुले actually कस्तो business कुन area मा invest गर्न मन लाग्छ. कुन founder लाई देख्न साथ चाहिँ मेरो investment यसले पायो भन्ने कुराहरु हामी गर्छौं. But before that, I'll just go ahead and touch a little bit of your personal life. Kabi दाइ बाट सुरु गर्छु.
Okay.
Cabinet Shrestha, यो नाम राख्दा तपाईको बुवा आमाले टेबलमा कस्तो डिस्कसन भयो दाइ?
Actually, टेबलमा डिस्कसन चाहिँ भएन. As many people know, म चाहिँ political family-बाट आउँछु. So when my father was a member of cabinet, I was born and I was named cabinet.
Wow.
So there was not much discussion on that.
Siblings पनि हुनुहुन्छ घरमा?
Yes. So siblings.
उहाँहरुको नाम के हो?
Senate छ. My sister's name is Chunao.
Yeah.
Ani mero niece nephews, Sansad, Parliament, पनि छ. So
it's legend of political family.
Yes.
Passion.
So that's why like I'm the first one to break away from that. and get into business.
People hear your name and they're like, oh my God, what is your name really?
No, there was a couple of cases in India where they refused to believe मेरो नाम क्याबिनेट हो भने र मैले मेरो क्रेडिट कार्ड देखाउनु पर्यो थियो मेरो क्रेडिट कार्डमा पनि यही नाम छ visiting card was not enough.
Cabinet is still fine. Imagine what would happen to your nephew.
Yeah,
Parliament.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I think he has to learn to handle that.
It's amazing. I mean, we've been used to it, but it's very interesting. It just shows the commitment and the passion the parents had in the work that they did.
Wow, you put it very well. Yeah.
And so that was something that they really loved. And you don't love anything more than your children and your work. So I think they are named after what their parents loved the most.
And also, if you look at Saurabh Dai, kasto interesting छ के उहाँको life. Maybe boardroom ma formals लाउनु हुन्छ होला. Then you switch to leather jacket and hit the highway. How do you differentiate being a tycoon and a biker? कामको baggage त हुन्छ होला, but you're on solo rides, you're filming it, and it's really amazing to see you do that.
So I think in everyone's life there is something that you're really passionate about, and that's an escape. Motorcycle ma malai kasto huncha bhane which is like my meditation. When you're on the motorcycle, it's just me, the machine, the wind in your hair, and you're riding. त्यहाँ फरक के हो भने you cannot allow आफ्नो ध्यान एक सेकेन्ड पनि यताउता हुन, किनभने यताउता केही ध्यान भयो भने ठुलो दुर्घटना हुने र ज्यान जोखिममा पनि हुन सक्छ. त्यसैले is total focus and you enjoy that.
Almost entire Nepal सकिसक्नु भएको छ. Which has been your favorite experience in your place?
The toughest ride has been मैले मनाङ, यो धेरै अगाडि झन् अहिले 5-6 वर्ष अगाडि बाटो बनेको थिएन. I took my wife in a pillion and she scolded me. We countless times we fell off the bike. So much so that she knew when we were going to fall off the bike, she used to jump off. Bato hi thiena. So that was the toughest ride that we had to Manang. My most memorable would be when I went to Jomsom, Lomanthan and Korala Pass.
Yeah.
We wanted to do something different. त्यो बेला पनि बाटो बनेको थिएन, अहिले बाटो बनिसकेको छ. So we took a super sports 1000cc sports bike to 4,400 meters in Korala Pass. So that was an amazing experience. I mean, Nepal, you need to experience Nepal on a motorcycle, on the road.
It's something else, right?
It's something else. हामी जहिले पनि भन्छौँ विदेशमा यो घुम्ने त्यो घुम्ने. पहिला नेपाल त घुम्नुस्. नेपाल जस्तो सुन्दर देश जति चाहिँ हाम्रो डाइभर्सिटी छ, the beauty that we have is unparalleled. You will not get it anyway, and that also within such a short span of time.
Yeah.
काठमाडौँ 45 मिनेटमा नगरकोट, यहाँदेखि पोखरा तपाईँ 5 घण्टा, त्यहाँदेखि अर्को 5 घण्टामा तपाईँ जोमसोम पुग्नुहुन्छ, and the terrain just changes drastically and it's just mesmerizing. So पहिला जहिले पनि देश अनि त्यो पछि विदेश भन्छु म.
कतिको घुम्न रमाइलो लाग्छ यहाँलाई, or do you just like party?
No, म नेपालको 4 कि 5 जिल्ला बाहेक सबै ठाउँ पुगिसकेँ र मेरो बकेट लिस्टमा चाहिँ अहिले एकदम जानु मन लागेको चाहिँ फोक्सोन्डो हो.
हजुर.
त्यहाँ पुगेको छुइनँ. So that is definitely on the bucket list. Probably यो पालि म यो गर्छु.
Just talking about Kavi Dai and his famous after parties, usually Fashion Week pachi. What is it about your party that everybody loves? Like, what do you do?
No, I try to make it alikati unique.
Yeah.
Alikati different in terms of basically in party bhaneko tapaiko music, crowd, drinks. I try to give it a theme, make it a little different, so people actually enjoy. And guest list is very important, that people feel comfortable each other. People like it.
Have you been a party animal in your days?
Yes.
He's still got more energy than all of us put together.
Have you partied together, the two of you?
I last 1-2 hours, he lasts 24 hours.
No, I've done I went to Ibiza way back. I've done the Love Parade. I've done the Black Forest. Of course, once in Asia. So it's, when I was young, I've done this a bit.
Most memorable experience partying Kuruna Saksa?
I think Love Parade, Berlin ma. मैले attend गर्दाखेरि there was 1.7 million people.
Oh my God.
And there were 54 trucks. We were on top of one of the trucks because the DJ चाहिँ साथीहरु थियो.
Because you have to be the party animal.
So DJ हरु साथी थियो. There was a DJ called त्यो बेला एकदम popular थियो.
Yeah.
Corvin Van Dyke भन्ने he was same league as PBD Paul Van Dyke त्यो level को थियो.
Right.
This was a long time back.
Do you really like being a party animal still?
I enjoy the music. I enjoy the crowd. I enjoy the music. I enjoy drinks. You know, why not?
You instantly identify the magic mushrooms on Saurabh, nice socks. The first time we sit down, Saurabh, nice socks, the magic mushrooms. Well, I don't want to relate a lot to the conversation with Saurabh, nice socks.
Okay.
But I'll just have to take a quick break before we get back again. Welcome back after the breather. You are watching It's My Show and we jump back to the conversation. Startups. एकदमै it word भएको छ अहिले startup. संसारमा त business world मा हामी startup को definition हेर्छौं भने चाहिँ केही सुरु गर्ने बित्तिकै त्यसलाई startup भन्न मिल्दैन रहेछ. Disruptive हुन पर्यो, tech based हुन पर्यो, scalable हुन पर्यो. But मलाई कति धेरै startups थाहा छ होला जुन your criteria meet गर्दैनन्, but they're still doing very well. So I'd like to ask you, एउटा restaurant यदि कसैले खोल्छ भने कि त्यो startup हो, club startup हो, clothing store लुगा पसल startup हो, किराना पसल startup हो, and genuinely very curious because explain me the difference, a fine line between a traditional business model and a startup.
Startup भन्नाले like even all this जुन तपाईले भन्नुभएको restaurant, retail stores, all this यो पनि startup हुन सक्छ किनभने one you can look at a chain of doing things, you can base it on tech like भनौं न coffee you could order prior and just pick it up on the way, or you could go global with it, you know, if you have some differentiator or you know, disruptive tech, you could go even global with it. So it can be easily a startup.
So किराना पसललाई हामी startup भन्न सक्छौं.
सक्छौं.
Clubलाई पनि हामी startup भन्न सक्छौं.
If it's scalable and it can go global, you're different, why not?
So just to add to that, क्याबदाले भने जस्तो तर स्टार्टअपमा के डिफरेन्स हुनुपर्छ हामीले के नयाँ व्यवसाय सुरु गर्यो भने हामीलाई स्टार्टअप मानिदैन किनभने हामी एस्टाब्लिश बिजनेस पिपल हो or you come from a background of generational wealth and you start up a new enterprise, नयाँ उद्योग व्यवसाय नयाँ एउटा रेस्टुरेन्ट के सुरु गर्यो भने चाहिँ स्टार्टअप मानिदैन किनभने backing, resources, financial, we are secure and we have the ability to invest. तर startup कहाँ भनिन्छ भनेपछि first generation entrepreneurs who do not have the financial backing and the resources, they start something new by collecting funds through family or through friends or through certain shareholders and angel investors like चाहिँ startup को term मा चाहिँ हामीले मान्न सकिन्छ.
So starting something new.
Yes.
भन्नुभयो हैन अब न्यू के कुरालाई भन्ने अब यो मार्केटमा न्यू कि संसारभरि न्यू भने जस्तो कुरा हो त्यो. फर एक्जाम्पल यति धेरै आइडियाज छन् संसारमा कति धेरै युज भइसकेको छ के कुरालाई नयाँ मान्ने त एज अ लेट्स से पठाओ इज एन एक्जिस्टिङ बिजनेस मोडल त्यस्तो अर्को खोल्यो भने त्यसलाई पनि हामी स्टार्टअप भन्छौँ त्यसलाई पनि हामी एन्टरप्रेन्योर्स भन्छौँ सो व्हाट इज रियली न्यू एन्ड इनोभेटिभ अन दैट
A startup can be anything that a first generation entrepreneur is starting. It could be an innovative new idea, completely new, or it could be an existing business model, but what are you delivering better to the customer? आफ्नो उपभोक्तालाई तपाईले के you make their lives better, you add more value, you create a change through your product or services that improves their livelihood. त्यो भयो भने चाहिँ that value proposition will differentiate.
अर्को कुरा चाहिँ you know entrepreneurship मा हामीले पछिल्लो समयमा चाहिँ कस्तो एउटा एस्थेटिक देखाएको छ flower printed shirts, half pants, you have a MacBook Air, you're sitting on a cafe, overpriced latte, so you're talking about venture capitalists, you're talking about seed funding. तर मलाई लाग्छ नेपालमा यस्तो उद्यमीहरू पनि छन् जसले they have started work from ground zero. no spotlight, no startup pitch deck. Like for example, एउटा 21-year-old taxi driver जोसँग पहिला एउटा ट्याक्सी थियो अहिले उले त्यो ट्याक्सीलाई दुईटा ट्याक्सी बनाछ स्केलेबल छ उसको बिजनेस देयर इज नो स्पटलाइट फर हिम नो स्टार्टअप पिच डेक फर हिम तर उले आफ्नो बिजनेस स्केल गरेछ उसलाई हामी एन्टरप्रेन्योर भन्ने कि नभन्ने उसले गरेका कामलाई हामी स्टार्टअप भन्ने कि नभन्ने
ऊ पनि एन्टरप्रेन्योर नै हो because that 3 taxi can become 30 taxi also.
Yes.
He could onboard some other taxis from outside.
Right.
So he could be entrepreneur. He could start a new patao.
Okay, so now what is the fine line between a traditional business model and entrepreneurship? Because कति गरिरहेको कुरा त traditional business models नै हो नि जस्तै किराना पसल traditional business model होला. So where is the thin line?
So उद्यमशीलता भने के हो भनेपछि एउटा चाहिँ मनस्थिति नै हो एउटा. You know, so it's a mindset. It's not something that you can say that you have, as you said, a fancy laptop, you're wearing a floral shirt, you're working in a coffee shop. तर the actual entrepreneurs त्यो असल एउटा उद्यमी जो सफल हुन्छ कट्टु चप्पल लाएर आफ्नो कार्यस्थलमा फ्याक्ट्रीमा खटेर काम गर्ने मान्छे चाहिँ बढी सफल हुन्छ हैन it's not about glamorizing it, it's about the hard work you put in and what comes from inside, the fire in the belly and the will to succeed. What is entrepreneurship?
Do you feel like entrepreneurship or startups are glamorized पछिल्लो समयमा?
It should be glamorized. It should be glamorized. Why not? तर खोक्लो हुनु भएन. Content हुनु पर्यो. You need to. What is an entrepreneur? An entrepreneur is someone who refuses to work 8 hours a day so that he can work 12 hours a day. 8 hours a day for someone else work नगरिकन 12 घण्टा 16 घण्टा 18 घण्टा आफ्नो ड्रीम मटेरियलाइज गर्न आफ्नो सपना साकार गर्नलाई 18 घण्टा काम गर्ने एकजना मूर्खै भन्छु म हैन तर त्यो सपना साकार भइसकेपछि उले के गर्छ भने he realizes his dream, he creates wealth. More importantly, he from a job seeker he becomes a job creator and he creates jobs for tens, hundreds, thousands of other people. आफ्नो टोल, आफ्नो छिमेकी, आफ्नो साथी र त्यहाँको उले यति रोजगारी सृजना गर्छ and that is a part of something that comes from within, that's satisfaction. त्यो नेतृत्व हामी भन्छौं नि सफल उद्यमी भनेको एकजना आफू सफल हुन धेरै सजिलो छ हेर्नुस् तपाईले जहाँ पनि जागिरै लिनुस् कामै गर्नु प्रोफेसनली द जेन जी इज भेरी क्वालिफाइड भेरी टेक फ्रेन्डली तर त्यसलाई सफलता मान्नु हुँदैन सफलता भनेको एउटा समावेशी किसिमले एउटा इन्क्लुसिभ ग्रोथ when you provide a platform for others to succeed, for others to become leaders and take them all together to succeed together. Not just your business, create other leaders, your employees ko success, आफ्नो community, समाज र राज्यको पनि एउटा सफलतातिर लग्नेलाई चाहिँ एउटा सफल उद्यमी भन्छ.
हामी we're just moving towards the lighter side of the conversation. We'll get back to talking about pitch decks and startups. Okay. I will ask you a few questions. We'll start with Saurabh Dai. Okay. You'll have to answer it without thinking. So there is a twist to this. Saurabh Dai is 5 seconds answer garna, and the referee is Kabi Dai.
Okay.
You'll have to hold a whistle which is behind your cushion. You will get a card from the referee.
Okay.
So if you cannot answer the question, you have a dare card that you'll have to do.
Oh my God.
Red card? Can I get red?
Yes. So, but these are white cards. All right, we start with, if you woke up as your biggest competitor, what is the first thing you do?
So first thing I do every morning is get up, go to the gym, get beaten up by my trainer in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu class. That's what I do.
If these people were a Baskin Robbins flavor, what would they be? Vinod Chaudhary.
Mississippi mud, very rich.
Okay. Rajesh Hamal.
Cotton candy, always bright and youthful.
Wow. Meen Bahadur Gurung.
Vanilla, very plain Jane, but always the highest selling flavor.
Oh my God. Pushpa Kamal Dahal.
Mount Everest Sundae. It's a huge sundae, always standing tall, at the same time incorporating all the elements seamlessly as a national leader should.
Oh my God. One of the sharks, Himraj Thakal.
Honey Nut Crunch.
Oh my God.
Is Very humble, but lot of ingredients, lot of content, very rich content.
Rabi Lamishani.
Boba tea ice cream, always appealing to the youth.
Very smart of you. Give me the meaning of these 4 Gen Z words. Gen Z and millennials hang out. Let me see if you get these words. So these Gen Z words for you are delulu. What does delulu mean?
It means wonky, crazy.
Yes. Mid.
Mid. Mids, sneakers.
M-I-D, mid.
Mid, average.
Okay. It's giving.
Oh, mid is giving?
No. The other word is it's giving.
It's giving.
Yeah.
I'm not that young, not as young as I look. Giving is, it's giving, it's generous.
No.
Good-hearted.
No. You're the worst type. But I'll tell you what giving means. So if somebody is wearing like a red velvet suit in like a pitch deck, it's not giving. Like he's not giving. Like a red velvet suit is not giving.
Okay.
Your socks is giving.
Your answer was not giving.
Your answer is not giving. What does the card say? Saurabh.
Sing a song.
Sing a song.
I have to sing a song.
Yes, you have to sing a song.
I have my own song. Can I sing my own song?
Yes.
This is bad. आँखामा हैन मेरो देशलाई मुटुभित्र राख्ने छु रगत र पसिना बगाई बनाउने छु मेरो देशलाई.
Wow, did you have a band when you were young?
I tried to, but I was not accepted in any band.
As a vocalist, as a guitarist, or any other?
A little bit of guitar, but not vocals.
Your next question is, what is the worst investment you've made?
In myself when I was younger, by not being health conscious and having anything sweet I could put my hands on.
One habit you wish you could quit?
Stop buying sneakers and watches.
Okay. Pretend you're giving a motivational speech to your broke 20-year-old self, or have you never been broke?
In college, I was always broke. I think a motivational speech would be, even I give not just to my 20-year-old self, even now, is be a little sensible and save some money. Because I never save any of all my salary is always spent. Whatever I need to save, I give it to my wife, she saves it. She makes the best investments. I always splurge all the money that I have on useless things, apparently, for her, but I'm happy.
Wow, you put it so right. Which a startup idea that would fail in 5 seconds?
Something that the founder always talks about, I, and not we, and not knowing the subject is talking about would be a downer for me.
Okay, best pitch that actually lured you into investing?
So the best pitch that recently is a dairy project that really appealed to me, where we are going to have a lot of traditional dairy items, is something that I blindfoldedly, I said I'm in and invested in.
In the recent times, what is the most luxurious purchase you've made?
Recent times?
Yes.
So I think yesterday was my birthday.
Yes, and you asked?
And I bought a watch and I gave it to my wife to give it to me along with the bill. So I just got a new watch.
Can you show it to the camera? Which watch did you get that?
This is a Resence.
Yeah.
Resence, it's an independent watch brand.
Yeah.
It's a little unique. It's an oil-filled dial where the whole dial rotates. So it's nice.
Wow, lovely. Who is your current favorite businessman?
It's always been my grandfather because he's taught me one biggest virtue of humility, to be respectful to everyone, whether it's someone working on the floor shop of your factory or whether he's the head of the state. Always treat them with the same respect and dignity.
Perfect. We'll move to Kapidai now.
You're in trouble now.
You have the whistle also behind the cushion.
So I'm not even going to look at him.
What advice would you give to someone richer than you?
Stay grounded.
If these people call you at 4 a.m., why would they call you? Binod Chaudhary.
It'll be personal, something personal.
Durga Prasai.
Probably wrong number.
Okay, Rabi Labichane.
Maybe for a suggestion or something like that.
Sherbadur Deva.
I think that would be to check whether I pick up his phone or not.
Okay, Balan Shah.
It has to be a crisis, a major crisis.
Okay, what is your most toxic habit in a negotiation?
I decide super fast. So, you know, sometimes you're not listening to the person too well.
Yeah.
You know, because sometimes you get a gut feeling and I'm like very quick about it.
What is one thing you fake confidence about in public?
Knowing people's name, I act like I know everybody's name. I'm extremely bad with names.
You get into trouble?
I get into trouble all the time. You know,
is there a recent story to that?
Yeah, you know how in Nepal everybody asks us like, do you remember me? And you say yes, and
tell me what's my name? I know.
That gets me in trouble all the time.
What is this one overrated business word?
One overrated business word?
Yes.
Valuation.
Okay, we'll talk about that later. One thing you wish startup founders would stop doing in meetings?
You know, again, it goes back to valuation. They tend to really overvalue the business like, you know, it's a global product.
Yes.
You know, our market is very small. Unless you're really good hitting global numbers, you can overvalue to that level, you know.
Wow, Kavita is very prepared.
He's not even taking a second. Yeah.
What is your go-to excuse to leave a Zoom meeting call?
Oh, that's many, you know. Usually I say like I have another meeting, you know, which makes it look a little more serious, you know. I have another meeting, I'm overcommitted, things like that.
Say about the last thing you lied about to save money.
To save money?
To save money.
I know the owner. You know, you go to any retail shop, I know the owner, you give me a discount, you know.
So who is your current favorite businessman? You cannot name a family member.
No, I would say currently would be Sekhar Golcha.
Yeah.
He does things pretty balanced. So I would say Sekhar Golcha.
Best pitch that almost lured you into investing?
Investing would be a tech business, you know. It sounded very, very good on paper. They had other investors come in. But actually, when I dug deep, you know, it didn't have a backbone at all.
Oh my God, we have to give him a card. Who is your favorite shark?
In the tank?
Yes.
I would say Hemraj.
Oh my God, you answered. We have to. Okay, Ritu Vaidya or Saurabh Jyoti?
I have to go with family Ritu Vaidya.
Oh my God.
The value is in it.
Do you have a question, Saurabh?
He has to pick one, yeah, for not choosing me.
No, he answered all the questions so well.
You read it to me. I think it's better. Don't say sing.
What is it?
Say something nice about taxes.
Taxes. Taxes are actually overtaxing. That's for sure.
We'll talk about valuation. We'll talk about how taxes are overtaxing too.
It is overtaxing. There's so many types of taxes. We actually in Nepal, we get to learn about all the taxes in one go, you know. So
yeah.
that's quite nice. That's quite nice to learn about all your taxes in one go, you know.
But this was actually fun. I did not expect that it would be this fun. So, I mean, as business owners, तपाईहरु art collectors पनि हुनुहुन्छ हैन मलाई एकदमै जान्न मन लागेको कुरा चाहिँ अस्ति किशोर दाइले पनि भन्नुभयो सौरभ ज्योति चाहिँ एउटा मात्र यस्तो व्यक्ति हो जसले चाहिँ डिस्काउन्ट मागेन 42 lakhs को परचेज गर्नु भएको छ. So what is up with businessmen buying artwork? Do you really like art? Do you understand art, or it's a status symbol? Oh, मैले किन्न पर्छ. This is how I want to like fill my space. What is it?
Kishore ko kura garda, I went to see his exhibition, and the amount he's put his whole life, you can see his passion, his whole life into that exhibition, and it was just so awe-inspiring. So when you see Nepalese artists putting in so much commitment and creating such excellent work, it cannot be valued in terms of money. So what was the price he was asking for? He should get it. Actually, he would have got it more if he had sold it internationally. So I did pick up some of his artwork because exceptional. He's put his whole life into it. It's like tens of years of work that is put in.
But
and not just
honestly, tell us, do you really understand art? Or?
I don't understand art. So coming to that, I don't understand art, but I need artwork for my office, for my house. So I have consultants who understand art, like Kabidai's wife, Susan D. And I buy two types of arts. One is an investment art of famous artists whose pieces, it's an investment, whose pieces will go higher as time passes by. So it's investment. You're always making more money. If you want to sell it, you get more than what you bought it for. And secondly, I promote young artists, something that just appeals to me, and I need a painting. Why would I buy a painting of an artist who's not from Nepal when there's so many talented artists here and we can support them? So young artists, and we put up the paintings at my house, at my garage, at my office.
Lovely. Kabidai, what's...
Okay. First, my wife is a great Nepali art promoter.
Yes, yes.
So this started a long time back, you know, when Siddhartha Art Gallery opened up. I had gone for an opening.
Yes.
And when I saw the artist and the paintings there, that time I couldn't afford. I liked two, I couldn't afford both, you know, because I was trying to put my money in business, all that. But after that, my love with Nepali artists grew. So I have a really great collection of different Nepali artists. And I have even, you know, custom, asked them to do customization on paintings. So if you come to my office, you'll see a lot of
commission-based
art. Not only the senior artists, but really young artists, then the very senior artists. So my entire office, home, everything is covered in art.
Struggle को कुरा गर्नुभयो आज भन्दा 35 वर्ष अगाडि एलन जोर्नसँगको एउटा कोइन्सिडेन्टल मिटिङले तपाईले महेन्द्र सुरु गर्नुभएको नेपालमा दुईटा ट्र्याक्टर्स बेचेर सुरु गर्नुभयो लुक एट यु लाइक कसरी हाउ डिड यु जस्ट ग्रो यु बिलिभ इन लक or it's hard work what is it
No, I think definitely perseverance is definitely one. I don't work very hard.
Yes.
You know, but I think just trying to keep it afloat till the right product came in was the challenge. And to experiment, we were one of the first people to go national, like open offices outside Kathmandu. Everything was Kathmandu centric.
कस्तो थियो द सिनेरियो त्यति बेला बिजनेस स्टार्ट गर्दा बिजनेसले पेस लिँदा
Kathmandu centric थियो. Everything was Kathmandu centric. All the major business houses were here. So I think हामी one of the first भए पनि अर्को एउटा दुईटा अफिसेस बाहिर थियो. हामीले पाँचवटा अफिस बाहिर एकैचोटि खोलेका थियौं. It was भनौं न more dictated by the business people. There was no service as such. हैन जस्तै अब गाडी किन्नुलाई मान्छेले आएर एडभान्स दिएर पर्खिन्थ्यो. You know, it was not instant. So we changed all that. We started giving it immediately. So small changes like that made a difference. You know, but of course we did learn from the best. You know, like we got to learn from Toyota बाट सिक्यौं, टाटा बाट सिक्यौं, महिन्द्रा बाट सिक्यौं. त्यो सिक्ने अपर्चुनिटी पनि पायौं अनि त्यसलाई इम्प्लिमेन्ट गर्ने पनि पायौं. So that was a good way to go.
If I'm not wrong, Saurabh दाइको हजुरबा one of the first importers of motorcycles in Nepal. Do you remember growing up seeing motorcycles at home?
Of course, of course. My grandfather Mani Oshin Jyoti. So we started. Actually, the story is that Nepal को पहिला फलामे उद्योग हिमाल आइरन भन्ने हामीले चाहिँ सन् 1960 मा सुरु गरे 1960 मा. So at that point when we were setting up the factory for the steel factory, there was a Japanese gentleman that came to install the rolling mills, the machineries for re-rolling the bars. So through his connection, we got connected with Honda in Japan.
Yeah.
And then we started importing in 1968 Hondas.
Motorcycles.
Motorcycles.
त्यति बेला motorcycles को scene कस्तो थियो नेपालमा? Like कस्तो व्यक्तिहरुले
एकदमै रमाइलो थियो किनभने we were one of the first to get motorcycles and you never used to call a motorcycle a motorcycle. Motorcycle देखेपछि ए यो त Honda हो भन्थ्यो, Honda भन्थ्यो. So it was synonymous with motorcycles.
Yes.
But the problem, what the stories that I hear is that limited supply. We used to get a container. त्यो बेला फेरि त्यतिकै import गर्न पाउँदैन. You need to have a license for which डलर कमाएको प्रमाणले त्यतिकै मात्रै इम्पोर्ट गर्नु पाउँथ्यो त्यो लाइसेन्स चाहिँ चाहिन्थ्यो त्यो गरेर हामीले जापानबाट सिकाउँथे महिनाको 20-25 वटा मोटरसाइकल आउँथ्यो तर 20-25 वटा मोटरसाइकल केही दिनमा बिक्री हुन्थ्यो अनि 5 दिनमा बिक्री हुन्थ्यो 25 दिन कामै हुँदैन थियो अनि त्यो भएर पनि कम्पिटिसन आयो तर त्यो भन्दै पनि I grew up with motorcycles and I have very fond memories so since I grew up with motorcycles and my grandfather I would like to think I am his favorite grandson though I was the naughtiest and when I came back for my holidays there was a NX 250 motorcycle that was just imported from Japan. I finished my class 10 and I told it was in the showroom अनि मैले
Oh my god त्यति बेला class 10 पछि motorcycle चलाउने भनेपछि imagine the female attention you'd get
maybe I don't know I didn't think of it that way all I wanted was the motorcycle so
come on sir don't lie that's crazy
I think at that point motorcycles
you
were
agree?
motorcycles were more important
I'm sure you cared about the female attention. Kavita, what do you think about this?
I think you're just looking at the other motorcycles.
So my parents didn't buy it for me, you know. And then I used to be in my Honda showroom with my nose stuck to the glass looking at that motorcycle. Ani हजुरबुवाले देख्यो मलाई अनि के गरेर तिमी भने I told हजुरबुवा I want that motorcycle. Then he called my showroom manager. He said he give him the bike. So he gave me that bike, you know. So that's how my love for motorcycles started.
With this, we're taking a very short breather on It's My Show. We will be right back. कसैले पनि एउटा आइडिया पिच गर्दाखेरि के देखेर चाहिँ देख्न साथ यो व्यक्तिले मेरो इन्भेस्टमेन्ट पाउँछ How do you decide?
Number one would be the person. अब पिच गर्दाखेरि उसको कति honesty देखिन्छ how ethical he is with work किनभने idea is one part po financials भनेको you can always be verified reworked all that हैन सबै company profit मै हुन्छ profit मा हुने company का त pitch गर्नु त आउँदैन usually you know it is the struggling companies नै आउने हो तर त्यो मान्छेको कति he is into the business हैन knowledge of the business his honesty the work ethics you can make out हुन्छ नि just the body language अब हामी यति वर्ष काम गरिसकेका छौं we can judge a good person to a, like a you know
you can judge a book by
yeah
honesty humility the aura that you know every person has an energy so there may be a proposition एउटा चाहिँ एकदमै राम्रो यसमा चाहिँ सम्भावना छ पैसा कमाउन सकिन्छ तर त्यो मान्छेको प्रस्तुति र उसको चाहिँ aura is very I'm not saying good or bad but doesn't match with yours or a negative aura which doesn't match with yours भनेपछि सँगै त काम गर्नुपर्छ we spend 80% of our work time of our lives working 20% at home so day in day out काम गर्दा चाहिँ if you don't have that positive energy around that person along with the other factors what Kabida mentioned but that is most important because त्यो positivity भयो भने चाहिँ काम गर्न रमाइलो पनि हुन्छ
red flag के हो
रेड फ्ल्याग मेरो लागि चाहिँ त्यो जब मान्छेले के सोच्छ भने अब त्यो कन्सेप्ट चाहिँ एकदमै यु नो म बाइक अरूले सोच्नै सक्दैन टाइपको कन्सेप्ट या मैले बाइक अरूले गर्नै सक्दैन भन्ने टाइपले बिकज एभ्रिथिङ इज रेप्लिकेबल
यस
हैन त्यति र इन टर्म्स अफ नलेज देयर इज अलवेज समबडी स्मार्टर देन यु सो त्यो मान्छेले आएर जब त्यो कन्फिडेन्समा कुरा गर्छ it kind of puts you off
सल्लाह लिनु नसक्ने माई वे अर द हाईवे भन्यो भने काम गर्न चाहिँ गाह्रो हुन्छ त्यसैले ओपननेस टु अनलर्न थिङ्स द्याट ही हेज लर्न्ड एन्ड रिलर्न न्यू थिङ्स एन्ड टेक इनपुट्स फ्रम एक्सपर्ट्स
आफ्नो आइडिया त सबैजनालाई राम्रो लाग्छ नि त्यो कारणले नै त्यसरी प्यासनेटली पिच गरिरहेको हो अब हामी भ्यालुएसनको कुरा गर्छौँ त्यो पनि त्यसमै जोडिएको छ मेरो प्रडक्टको भ्यालु यति मेरो बिजनेसको भ्यालु यति भन्नु त मन पायो तर तपाईहरुले चाहिँ भ्यालुएसन्स स्पेशली मल्टिप्लाइज के त बेस्ड अन रेभेन्यू प्रफिट युजर बेस कसरी डिसाइड गर्नुहुन्छ
होइन अब यसमा धेरै कुरा त देयर इज लाइक बेसिक थम रुल्स हुन्छ लाइक रेभेन्यूको यति इक्विटीको यति त्यो पोर्सन इज देयर तर मेन भ्यालुएसन हामीले हेर्ने चाहिँ जस्तै द कन्सेप्टको भ्यालुएसन इनोभेसनको भ्यालुएसन क्रिएटिभनेसको भ्यालुएसन यु नो जस्तै हामी कस्तो कस्तो केस आछ भने जिरो इन्भेस्टमेन्टमा मान्छेले काम गरेर पनि पैसा कमाएको पनि देखाएको छौँ हैन सो द्याट वुड बी अ ग्रेट अपर्च्युनिटी फर अस टु गेट इन कि बिकज वी क्यान एक्चुली स्केल इट अप फर हिम जुन कन्सेप्ट छ उसको एउटा एक्सपेक्टेसन हुन्छ
ब्रान्ड भ्याल्यु उसले कसरी क्रिएट
किनभने उसको त आइडिया नै भ्यालुएसन हो नि हैन सो त्यस्तो काइन्ड चाहिँ रियली इन्ट्रेस्टिङ फर अस यु नो अब जुन रियली बेस्ड अन द फाइनेन्सियल्स हुन्छ द्याट इज एनी वे अ प्रुभन मेथड त्यसको त देयर इज अ लट अफ फर्मुलाज हैन एन्ड युजली दे शुड स्पेसली द स्टार्टअप अलिकति एक्सपर्टिज इफ दे आई विश दे कन्सल्टेड सम एक्सपर्टिज देयर लट अफ अडिटर्स you know very good auditors if they can just say go and ask them what would my valuation be they will guide you also if you are not happy with one you can consult multiple huncha ni
तपाईले यो आफ्नो इन्भेस्टमेन्ट एउटा स्टार्टअपलाई दिनुभयो इन्भेस्टमेन्ट दिइसकेपछि आफ्नो बिजनेस अपस्केल गर्दा कतिपय ठाउँमा अपरेसन्स बिग्रिन जान्छ कि तर तपाईहरुले इन्भेस्टमेन्ट पार्टमा छिर्नुभयो अपरेसन्सको एरियामा त त्यस्तो वातावरण सृजना नभएको पनि हुन सक्छ त्यो केसमा चाहिँ what do you have to say?
That's the whole deal of a startup and micro venture capitals investments ma. Out of 10 projects that you invest in, लगभग chances of failure is 80%, a thumb rule. And 80% of the startups will not pick up, it'll fail. तर clarity in terms of हामी चाहिँ पहिल्यै स्पष्ट हुनु पर्यो इन्भेस्टरको रूपमा आएपछि हाम्रो रोल्स एन्ड रिस्पोन्सिबिलिटिज के हो हामीले कहाँ योगदान गर्न सक्छौं हाम्रो एक्सपर्टिज कहाँ हुन्छ वेदर इट कुड बी मार्केटिङ इट कुड बी जस्ट डेभलपिङ द नेटवर्क अ हैन प्रोडक्सन लाइनमै अपरेसन्समै एडमिनमै हाम्रो चाहिँ इन्भल्भमेन्ट चाहिन्छ त्यो स्पष्ट भएर मात्रै लगानी गर्यो भने चाहिँ पार्टनर्स बीच विवाद चाहिँ हुँदैन
हामी बिजनेस एरियाजको पनि कुरा गर्न सक्छौं हैन यो कुरा जोड्दै जाँदाखेरि कुन सेक्टर्सहरुको बिजनेसेस चाहिँ युनिकर्न्स हुन सक्छन् त चान्सेसहरु हाई हुन्छ
अब जनरली पिपलले यसो भन्छ युनिकर्न भन्न साथै हैन टेक आईटी एआई भनेर त्यो सोच चाहिँ आउँछ ठीक छ आई एग्री कुड बी दैट इज वन पोसिबिलिटी तर नेपालमा सम्भावना हेर्यो भने देयर आर सर्टेन थिंग्स हामी जहिले पनि भन्छौं नि नेपालमा हाम्रो कम्पिटिटिभ एडभान्टेज कहाँ छ त हाम्रो जियोग्राफिक लोकेसन हेर्यो भने उत्तरमा चीन छ वन अफ द बिगेस्ट इकोनोमिज इन द वर्ल्ड दक्षिणमा भारत छ अनदर वन अफ द बिगेस्ट इकोनोमिज इन द वर्ल्ड अब नेपालको कम्पिटिटिभ एडभान्टेज हामी क्वान्टिटेटिभमा जान सक्छौं त मास प्रोडक्सनमा गर्न सक्छौं व्हेन द फ्याक्ट्रीज अफ द वर्ल्ड आर सराउन्डिङ अस सक्दैन नि भनेपछि क्वालिटेटिभबाट हामी क्वान्टिटेटिभमा आउनु पर्यो क्वान्टिटेटिभ भने निश मार्केट हाम्रो जसले हाम्रो युनिकनेस झल्काउँछ हाम्रो ह्यान्डिक्राफ्ट्स कल्चर हेरिटेज आर्टिजन्स त्यो निश सेगमेन्टमा गयो भने चाहिँ हामी विश्वव्यापी रूपमा आफ्नो चिनारो पनि नेपालको कल्चर नेपालको प्रोडक्ट नेपालको सर्भिस अल्सो इज भेरी इम्पोर्टेन्ट बिकज हामी जति सर्भिस दिने विथ अ स्माइल जेन्युइनली फ्रम द हार्ट कहीँ पनि पाउँदैन भेरी युनिक सो प्रोडक्ट्स र सर्भिस त्यो युनिकनेसमा लग्यो भने चाहिँ युनिकर्न हुने सम्भावना छ अलong with the tech industries because these are things that crosses geographical boundaries.
यसमा I'll also add something to it. किनभने हामी यति बेसिक industrialization छ हाम्रो opportunity is there. One is definitely the domestic market. अहिले इन्ट्रेस्टिङ चाहिँ के भएको छ भने there is nearly 1/3 of the country चाहिँ बाहिर छ the Nepali youth or
diaspora is very big.
Diaspora is very big in thing. Now that nobody's looked at it as a stepping stone to global market.
Oh, you put it very right.
I know. Just if I could market something just to the Nepali diaspora all over the world.
We just talk about Achar, right?
Yeah, exactly. You know, a person who's never seen achar. say a Nepali person might be hanging out with an Indonesian or a Filipino or a Chinese, could experience that product. Okay?
Yeah.
And that could get a bigger market. The exposure could be like, it could be on the shelves on the supermarket. Sent initially for Nepali people, but say a hemp product or a handicraft. But it could go, the reach could go bigger, So maybe for globalization, you get a better chance with this. It's a disadvantage for Nepal, but it could be an advantage for exports.
What's the message for people who want to carry out a passion project to make money?
My personal, thing is, none of my passion projects has not made money.
Yeah.
But I have seen in the market that a lot of people passionately काम गर्दाखेरि they give it so much that the business flourish हुन्छ. And the big plus point is, and they enjoy doing that work.
Yeah.
Which makes their life like really happy, and they're always excited about work.
But do they ever become unicorns?
Why not? We've seen, for example,
examples?
I think Gagan and Coffee, Himalayan Java.
Minecraft.
Minecraft, yeah.
It's $1 billion business now.
He sold it, but yeah.
So there's so many examples like that where people really passionate, doing really well.
हामी रेस्टुरेन्ट बिजनेसेसको कुरा गरौँ जहाँ पनि नयाँ रेस्टुरेन्ट खोलिरहेको छ नयाँ क्याफे एस्थेटिक्स एक्सपिरियन्स रेस्टुरेन्ट बिजनेसमा इन्भेस्ट गर्नुहुन्छ तपाईहरुले आफै
For me personally, I've been diversifying into FMCG, which जुन अहिले मेरो नयाँ Dessert Republic भनेर, it's a homegrown brand, it's a dessert cafe with over 32 desserts under one roof. त्यो develop भइरहेछ त्यो सँगसँगै SJ Moto is expanding. Passion project was the Jyoti Bhavan, which was a pilot program. It was a passion project, not commercially viable. That's why अलिकति secluded भित्रै आफ्नै rent बजाउनु भयो पनि आफ्नै building मा थियो. But learning from the passion project, what happens is that you have so much passion into that idea that it leads to excellence, because सानो सानो कुरामा you want to work on it. And that excellence model, with a little bit of business input, financials, putting in, and seeing if there is a market for it, will lead to a unicorn, as you said. Okay. So the commercial venture of SJ Moto, which is in Jyoti Bhavan, is a passion project. But we've opened one with a tie-up, SJ Moto Himalayan Java in Pokhara, which is a commercial venture. It's one of the largest cafes, around 7,500 square feet, 2 floors. So that's a commercial venture. So त्यो balance चाहिँ business sense पनि ल्याएर viability, feasibility हेरेर अगाडि बढायो भने चाहिँ passion projects will do very well and become a profitable business. त्यो भन्दै I was talking about the food chain, restaurants, huge potential in Nepal, outside त भइहाल्यो. क्याबदाइले भने जस्तो डायस्पोराको मात्रै नेपाली टेस्ट we can take it globally. बाहिरको फ्र्यान्चाइजी मात्रै ल्याउने हैन, अब हाम्रो फ्र्यान्चाइजी पनि बाहिर आउने एक्जाम्पल्स पनि छन्. बाजेको शेखवादेखि लिएर विभिन्न अरु ब्रान्ड्सहरु पनि छन्. आमाको अचार पनि एक्सपोर्ट भइराछ. सो त्यो कन्सेप्टमा अब बिस्तारै I personally am investing my time, resources, and a lot of effort is going to develop that sort of a standard, SOPs, to create that standard of products which not only Nepalese can enjoy in Nepal, but global consumers can also enjoy.
I've done 2 restaurants prior.
Profitability ko hisabले dai.
I think one is very successful,
right,
though I'm not a part of it. Amro Moksha.
Yes.
I was a part of it for a long time. Then COVID time I left, and Nirakar is running the show. One shut down. So we have a different example. The future, I will be coming into the restaurant business.
Okay. Quick service?
No, it's a
experience.
It's a very different, unique ones.
Oh, wow.
It will take some time because the whole construction, all that. I'm really taking good time on that.
कुनै व्यक्ति जोसँग धेरै कम छ क्यापिटल, उसँग एकदमै थोरै पैसा छ, त्यो व्यक्तिले रेस्टुरेन्टमा पैसा हाल्दाखेरि कस्तो होला त? You have money, you can, if it works, it works. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But is it a risk-taking sector? Is restaurant a risk-taking, safe place?
Risk-taking चाहिँ भन्दिनँ हैन, तर अब रेस्टुरेन्टको what is the plus that you need a restaurant to run? Number one would be definitely food, location, service part of it, the decor, ambience. I would even rate it lower down. The khana, service, all that part comes really important. But if you don't have expertise in that, and you don't have a proper chef, or neither you know how to cook, neither do you have a proper chef, and you want to open a restaurant, it's a disaster. Second, taking loan is not bad. People feel like loan later business. How much loan to take? It has to be a little balanced. Orko, I see in Nepal, biggest problem with especially the startups is the financial discipline.
What is financial discipline?
Financial discipline is getting the right finance team in your office, accountant or finance head, or maybe a good auditor to guide you. Auditor not just to sign a balance sheet.
I mean, no one I just want to wrap this episode. Your episode se mo kosto note ma malai sakaunu man cha bhane hamro government friendly policies haru chan ke chainan. Kosto policies haru bandaheri business owners, entrepreneurs, startups lai sajilo huncha.
निजी क्षेत्र अर्थतन्त्र देशको विकास गर्नलाई के चाहियो भने हामीलाई चाहिँ स्थायी नीति चाहियो. नेपालमा नीति खराब होइन, नीतिहरू एकदमै राम्रा छन्. हेर्नु भयो भने त यस्तो राम्रो नीति छ, तर त्यो नीतिहरूको कार्यान्वयन हुँदैन र त्यो चाहिँ एकदम ग्रे पोलिसीज. इट कुड बी इन्टरप्रेटेड इन एनी वे द्याट लिड्स टु करप्सन.
हामी ट्याक्सेसको कुरा गर्यौँ अघि कविता. सो कहिले 200% ट्याक्स लगाइदिएको हुन्छ, त्यो त मार्का पर्यो नि त बिजनेसलाई. कसरी सर्भाइभ गर्ने?
यहाँनिर के छ भने अब अफकोर्स नेपाल गभर्मेन्टको रेभेन्यू इज लो, तर taxes is not scientifically or practically calculated. नेपालमा कि we have to watch, we have an open border with India. हैन, जस्तै इन्डिया र नेपालमा अलिकतिमा चाहिँ अप डाउन भयो भने कि सामान यहाँबाट इन्डिया जाने भयो इन द स्मगलिङ वेमा कि इन्डियाबाट यहाँ आउने भयो. सो इफ द्याट क्यान बी ब्यालेन्स्ड हैन, र इन्डियामा इफ यु सी ट्याक्सेस आर अन द डाउन ट्रेन्ड, थिङ्स आर गोइङ डाउन. But we've not been able to keep up with that. र हाम्रो अर्को प्रब्लम चाहिँ के छ, taxation is too many multiple taxation on the same product.
Yes.
हैन, so usually globally 2 or 3 हुन्छ. हाम्रो certain products मा maybe 5-6 months अघि.
Right.
हैन, जस्तै my sector automobile मा there's 5-6 different taxes. And त्यसपछि त्यसको profit मा फेरि there's 2-3 different taxes. हैन, if it could be just unified into 1 or 2. It simplifies the operation. There's everything has multiple organizations you have to deal with. But if you see the intent of all the organizations is the same. If individual changes, the policy changes. And it's drastic. It's drastic. One encourages you to open an industry. Next year, you could be shutting down that industry. That drastic changes also.
Tax ko यसरी लिऊ न. Simply put, whatever we do, whether you open एउटा संस्था, उद्योग, व्यवसायले या व्यक्तिगत इन्कम ट्याक्स तिर्यो, government is a partner in every aspect. Whether you have an organization or even व्यक्तिगत रूपले तपाईले चाहिँ आयकर तिरेर हुन्छ. Government is a partner. You're paying the government. Government gets a certain percent of a share of your business that you're earning. नेपालमा विडम्बना के छ भनेपछि हामी जहिले पनि ट्याक्सको दरको कुरा गर्छौं. ट्याक्सको दर चाहिँ जहिले पनि बढाउने हरेक बजेटमा बढाउने. दर बढाएर चाहिँ हुँदैन. ट्याक्सको दायरा बढाउनु पर्यो, किनभने दायरा जहिलेसम्म बढ्दैन, अहिले फर्मल सेक्टर र इन्फर्मल सेक्टर हेर्यो भने फर्मल सेक्टर अझै खुम्चिँदै जाँदैछ. 40% जति मात्रै फर्मल सेक्टर छ. इन्फर्मल सेक्टर द्याट डजन्ट पे ट्याक्सेस, दायरा नबढाएको कारणले 60% छ. ठुलो करदाताको अफिसमा तपाईं जानुभयो भने 800 देखि 1000 वटा संस्थाहरूले, ठुलो करदाताहरूले देशको 60 देखि 70% कर तिरिरहेको हुन्छ. तर लाखौं व्यवसायहरू त्यसले झण्डैले 30% मात्रै योगदान छ करमा. भनेपछि दर बढाउने हैन, दायरा बढाएर इन्फर्मल सेक्टरमा फर्मल सेक्टर आयो भने एउटा जुन हामीले समृद्धिको कुरा गर्छौँ, वेल्थ जेनेरेसनको कुरा गर्छौँ, प्रस्पेरिटीको कुरा गर्छौँ, त्यसबाट आउँछ। त्यसैले नेपाल सरकारले जहिले पनि दर होइन, दायरा बढाउन चाहिँ त्योतिर विशेष ध्यान दिएर हामीले चाहिँ त्यो इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चर, अब किनभने आजकल सजिलो छ, पहिला पो ब्याङ्क चाहियो, करको अफिस चाहियो होइन व्यवसाय गर्नलाई। अब त करको अफिस किन चाहियो तपाईँलाई? यु डोन्ट निड अ ब्रिक एन्ड मोटर एन्ड 77 जिल्लामा तपाईँलाई त बिल्डिङ करोडको चाहिँदैन नि। मोबाइल फोन हातमा छ तपाईँको, त्यहीँबाट तपाईँले कर तिर्नुहोस् न होइन। सो त्यो भयो भने चाहिँ सजिलो हुन्छ र आई थिङ्क द्याट इज समथिङ द्याट वी रियली निड टु फोकस अन।
Need to focus on, and of our dreams, we can hope for it to happen in the near future, I believe.
It will, slowly.
Do you think it will?
Definitely not in my generation. Maybe in your generation it could happen.
Maybe we get to enjoy the perks of your hard work that you put. Maybe.
Maybe.
Thank you for joining us today, gentlemen.
Thank you so much.
Somzida